Well, in fact, tuning into today's video, it's Monday at GazWeatherViz, which can mean only one thing. Yep, it's Europe Day every Monday at GazWeatherViz. We have a look at the weather for the coming week across the continent, and today is going to be no exception. Now, before we go on videos, we'll talk about the advertised best green keyword ads on my pages at GazWeatherViz.com. If you roll your cursor over green keywords, they'll display ads, but if you click through the words, you go to the advertiser's website. You're supporting GazWeatherViz.com when you do that. Also want to mention the website where the charts came from. It's weathercentral.de. You can find a link to Weather Central on my links page. So I think the coming week is going to be more autumnal, really. I think that's going to be the story for the week ahead. We are going to be in a more changeable autumnal type pattern across many central and northern parts of Europe this week. Autumn really is starting to set in now. So we'll have a look at the charts, and busy the chart for today, for Monday, the 9th of September. And we see we've got an area of high pressure up over Scandinavia, stretching back in towards the west of Russia. We've got a trough, though, coming southwards across the British Isles and through in towards southern parts of Scandinavia, the Low Countries, Denmark, and northern Germany, northern parts of France. Then through Spain and Portugal, we've got a bit of ridge of high pressure, and through central and eastern parts of the Mediterranean, everything is very slack, as it normally is through summer. Look at the upper air temperatures, they really tell the story of what's happened over the last few days. It's turned much cooler across many northern parts of British Isles, quite warm going up through Scandinavia, associated with that ridge, but really many central and northern parts of the continent have cooled off quite significantly in the last few days, although the heat does still go on through the Mediterranean. Convective potential shows that we haven't got much convective potential, to be honest. Could be some on the eastern side of the United Kingdom, east side of England particularly, some thunderstorms there, and going over the North Sea in towards the Low Countries. Possibly some through Mediterranean. We'll have a look and see whether that's going to realise on the precipitation forecast. Well, actually, coming out of North Africa, there could be some thunderstorms getting up in towards southern parts of the Mediterranean. Also, perhaps around the Costas, we may see a few thundery showers, excuse me, breaking out today. The main area of unsettled weather is going through northern France, in towards the Low Countries, Denmark, some parts of Scandinavia, and northern Germany, and then back through the North Sea into eastern parts of England. That's where you could have some heavy showers, maybe a few thunderstorms mixed in as well. And for some parts of Scandinavia, going down in towards Poland in particular, we could have some outbreaks of persistent rain in those regions. To the northeast of that, though, it is mainly dry. Temperatures today show that it's a cool scene across much of the continent. It's still hot through the Mediterranean, but much of France, Ireland, Britain, the Low Countries, Germany, on in towards western parts of Poland as well. Really quite a cool scene indeed. As we get up towards the east and the northeast, though, it is a little bit warmer, associated with that ridge of high pressure. Now, as we move through to the middle of the week, high pressure is trying to extend in off the Atlantic in towards the British Isles, but we've also always got a low pressure influence with the jet stream running to the north of Britain in towards Scandinavia, and then coming southwards into central parts of the continent. It's a pretty cool scene really across much of the continent, cool air, even digging down in towards the Mediterranean actually as we go through into the middle of the week, with the heat really starting to retreat down towards North Africa, and it's still going on down towards Greece, but certainly the Mediterranean is cooling. It's cooling off in towards northern Spain as well. Look, yeah, much of the Mediterranean definitely cooling down midweek. Now through the central and northeastern parts of the continent, it's also remaining relatively cool in the upper air. The thunderstorm risk also going to be mainly through the Med and into Italy, over the Adriatic and into the southeast of Europe, but possibly some around the Baltic Sea as well. Thunderstorms or showers, longer spells of rain, really coming through northern parts of France, into the Low Countries, Germany, going down into the Alps, into over the Alps into central northern Italy, through the Adriatic and into the southeast and the east of Europe. There could be some big showers and thunderstorms there. Also the prospect that there could be some showers or storms breaking out through the Mediterranean through the middle of the week. That's in association with that cool air beginning to dig in into the Med, or cooler air digging into the Med anyway. So even down in towards the central base of the Mediterranean, we're just seeing temperatures into the low to mid-20s through the middle of the week. So definitely a cooling off going on there. The heat still going on in the southeast of Europe, both through Greece and Turkey. I think it's still quite a hot scene, but much of Europe is actually going to be quite cool through the middle of the week, just into the teens or the low 20s at best. Now, as we move through in towards the end of the week, we're going to find high pressure still out to the west of Ireland, trying to ridge in, but we're bringing weather fronts down still across northern and western parts of the continent through to the end of the week. So it's a pretty cool scene still across many parts of the continent. The upper air temperatures really nothing to write home about, away from the far southeast and southwest of Europe, where the heat goes on. The convective potential through the middle of the week, it's mainly again to the south of the Mediterranean and going up in towards the east of Europe. Precipitation at the end of the week, well, it's unsettled still across parts of the United Kingdom and Ireland, also going down towards the north of France, in towards the Low Countries, southern parts of Scandinavia. There will be some outbreaks of rain coming through at times. Also, the risk of some very heavy showers or thunderstorms across parts of Poland, going down in towards Hungary, down in towards the Balkans. There could be some heavy showers or thunderstorms there, and moving up towards the Black Sea. Largely dry through much of the Mediterranean, that has to be said, by the end of the week. Excuse me, again, quite a cool scene across many parts of the continent at the end of the week. Temperatures certainly no better than average and maybe a little bit below for quite a few places. Most southern France is turning hotter, and it's getting pretty warm again, actually, through the Mediterranean. Finally, having a quick look at next weekend, it looks like we're going to see a deep area of low pressure developing around Iceland, bringing more wet and windy weather in towards Scotland and Ireland in particular, also pushing on in towards Scandinavia. The high pressure from the Atlantic reaching in towards France, so it could be turning dry and warm there, and perhaps moving through to some central parts of the continent as well. Upper air temperatures show, but with that, we briefly bring some warmer area across Britain and Ireland with that area of low pressure. It won't be long before that's swept away by cooler, fresher air coming back from Iceland. Generally, the temperatures aren't much to write home about next weekend away from the Mediterranean, although the heat is beginning to rebuild, actually, over Spain and Portugal. The convective potential next weekend shows that there could be some through the central basin of the Mediterranean, particularly Corsica, Sardinia, possibly stretching back towards the Balkans as well. Otherwise, not much away from the far east and northeast. So outbreaks of rain will be coming through the British Isles in towards Ireland, going on in towards Scandinavia as well. That's associated with that deep area of low pressure that's bringing a lot of rain towards Iceland. And then further south, well, I think we're looking at mainly dry conditions through Spain, Portugal and France, although there could still be some showers around the Alps. The Mediterranean largely dry, but the risk of some showers or thunderstorms around Corsica, Sardinia, and possibly going on in towards the Balkans. You get the impression that things are just starting to wobble a little bit this week through the Mediterranean, but we're still not really generating those big showers and thunderstorms just yet, but it won't be long now before the storms arrive even into the Mediterranean. So the temperatures at the end of the week, well, it's a little bit warmer for Ireland and Britain briefly as we're bringing that warmer push in off the Atlantic. Also quite warm for central southern parts of France, but really much of the continent still largely on the cool side. Nothing to write home about really with the temperatures away from the Mediterranean. So in summary, it's definitely a cooler, more changeable type week coming up this week for the continent. Autumn is slowly but surely spreading in now. Many places are turning autumnal. That's it for now. I'm going to go have a drink of water, try to get rid of this little cough. Sorry for the coughing. I hope it hasn't spoiled the video too much. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching.